This is the day whereon he who is the revealer of the names of God hath stepped out of the tabernacle of glory, and proclaimed unto all who are in the heavens and all who are on the earth, Put away the cups of paradise, and all the life-giving waters they contain. For lo, the people of Bahá have entered the blissful abode of the divine presence, and quaffed the wine of reunion from the chalice of the beauty of their Lord, the all-possessing, the Most High. Set your faces towards him on this day which God hath exalted above all other days, and whereon the All-Merciful hath shed the splendor of his effulgent glory upon all who are in heaven and all who are on earth. He, glorified be his mention, resembleth the sun. Were unnumbered mirrors to be placed before it, each would, according to its capacity, reflect the splendor of that sun, and were none to be placed before it, it would still continue to rise and set, and the mirrors alone would be veiled from its light. Consider again the sun when it is completely hidden behind the clouds. Though the earth is still illumined with its light, yet the measure of light which it receiveth is considerably reduced. Not until the clouds have dispersed can the sun shine again in the plenitude of its glory. Neither the presence of the cloud nor its absence can in any way affect the inherent splendor of the sun. The soul of man is the sun by which his body is illumined, and from which it draweth its sustenance, and should be so regarded. Behold how in this dispensation the worthless and foolish have fondly imagined that by such instruments as massacre, plunder, and banishment, they can extinguish the lamp which the hand of divine power hath lit, or eclipse the day star of the everlasting splendor. How utterly unaware they seem to be of the truth, that such adversity is the oil that feedeth the flame of this lamp. Such is God's transforming power. The measure of the revelation of the prophets of God in this world, however, must differ. Each and every one of them hath been the bearer of a distinct message, and hath been commissioned to reveal himself through specific acts. It is for this reason that they appear to vary in their greatness. Their revelation may be likened unto the light of the moon that sheddeth its radiance upon the earth. Though every time it appeareth, it revealeth a fresh measure of its brightness, yet its inherent splendor can never diminish, nor can its light suffer extinction. It is evident that every age in which a manifestation of God hath lived is divinely ordained, and may, in a sense, be characterized as God's appointed day. This day, however, is unique, and is to be distinguished from those that have preceded it. The designation seal of the prophets fully revealeth its high station. The prophetic cycle hath verily ended. The eternal truth is now come. He hath lifted up the ensign of power, and is now shedding upon the world the unclouded splendor of his revelation. The first duty prescribed by God for his servants is the recognition of him who is the dayspring of his revelation, and the fountain of his laws, who representeth the Godhead in both the kingdom of his cause and the world of creation. Whoso achieveth this duty hath attained unto all good, and whoso is deprived thereof hath gone astray, though he be the author of every righteous deed. It behoveth every one who reacheth this most sublime station, this summit of transcendent glory, to observe every ordinance of him who is the desire of the world. These twin duties are inseparable. Neither is acceptable without the other. Thus hath it been decreed by him who is the source of divine inspiration. If, on the day of his revelation, all that are on earth bear him allegiance, mine inmost being will rejoice, inasmuch as all will have attained the summit of their existence, and will have been brought face to face with their beloved, and will have recognized to the fullest extent attainable in the world of being the splendor of him who is the desire of their hearts. It behoveth the people of Bahá to die to the world and all that is therein, to be so detached from all earthly things that the inmates of paradise may inhale from their garment the sweet-smelling savor of sanctity, that all the peoples of the earth may recognize in their faces the brightness of the All-Merciful, and that through them may be spread abroad the signs and tokens of God, the Almighty, the All-Wise. O Son of Man, bestow my wealth upon my poor, that in heaven thou mayest draw from stores of unfading splendor and treasures of imperishable glory. But by my life, to offer up thy soul is a more glorious thing, couldst thou but see with mine eye. In the rose garden of changeless splendor, a flower hath begun to bloom, compared to which every other flower is but a thorn, and before the brightness of whose glory the very essence of beauty must pale and wither. Arise, therefore, and with the whole enthusiasm of your hearts, with all the eagerness of your souls, the full fervor of your will, and the concentrated efforts of your entire being, strive to attain the paradise of his presence, and endeavor to inhale the fragrance of the incorruptible flower, to breathe the sweet savors of holiness, and to obtain a portion of this perfume of celestial glory. Forget the world of creation, O pen, and turn thou towards the face of thy Lord, the Lord of all names. Adorn then the world with the ornament of the favors of thy Lord, the King of everlasting days. For we perceive the fragrance of the day, whereon he who is the desire of all nations hath shed upon the kingdoms of the unseen and of the seen the splendor of the light of his most excellent names, and enveloped them with the radiance of the luminaries of his most gracious favors, favors which none can reckon except him who is the omnipotent protector of the entire creation. Give a hearing ear, O people, to that which I in truth say unto you. The one true God, exalted be his glory, hath ever regarded and will continue to regard the hearts of men as his own, his exclusive possession. All else, whether pertaining to land or sea, whether riches or glory, he hath bequeathed unto the kings and rulers of the earth. From the beginning that hath no beginning, the ensign proclaiming the words, He doeth whatsoever he willeth, hath been unfurled in all its splendor before his manifestation. What mankind needeth in this day is obedience unto them that are in authority, and a faithful adherence to the cord of wisdom. We have decreed, O people, that the highest and last end of all learning be the recognition of him who is the object of all knowledge. And yet, behold how ye have allowed your learning to shut you out as by a veil from him who is the dayspring of this light, through whom every hidden thing hath been revealed. Could ye but discover the source whence the splendor of this utterance is diffused, ye would cast away the peoples of the world and all they possess, and would draw nigh unto this most blessed seat of glory. O Son of my handmaid, quaff from the tongue of the merciful the stream of divine mystery, and behold from the dayspring of divine utterance the unveiled splendor of the day-star of wisdom. Sow the seeds of my divine wisdom in the pure soil of the heart, and water them with the waters of certitude, that the hyacinths of knowledge and wisdom may spring up fresh and green from the holy city of the heart. That the manifestations of divine justice, the daysprings of heavenly grace, have, when they appeared amongst men, always been destitute of all earthly dominion and shorn of the means of worldly ascendancy, should be attributed to this same principle of separation and distinction which animateth the divine purpose. Were the eternal essence to manifest all that is latent within him, were he to shine in the plenitude of his glory, none would be found to question his power or repudiate his truth. Nay, all created things would be so dazzled and thunderstruck by the evidences of his light as to be reduced to utter nothingness. How then can the godly be differentiated under such circumstances from the froward? O my friend, thou art the day-star of the heavens of my holiness. Let not the defilement of the world eclipse thy splendor. Rend asunder the veil of heedlessness, that from behind the clouds thou mayest emerge resplendent, and array all things with the apparel of light.
Oh